It is the morning after the night before. The battle for Olympus has taken place, and oh dear. Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. So let's just get this out of the way to begin with. When I first loaded into this event, I was like, okay, this actually looks pretty cool. We've got custom voice lines. They're all in the theme of the Greek mythology that the battle pass is themed in, and this battle for Olympus mode is. You've got Junker Queen in her Zeus form, giving you Zeus-esque lines, setting you up for battle. Okay, great, cool. You go in, and I played a bunch of Pharah to begin with, and I was like, wow, this actually is really cool. I've got a power-up I can pick up, which gives me ultimate charge, and when I use my ultimate, my abilities totally change. I can fly while I'm using barrage, and then I've got triple rockets that I fire. This is super cool, really good. There's these armor packs all on the floor. So I'm pretty old these days, so I used to play Quake Arena back in the day. But like, you could pick them up. They're basically armor shards. They make the sound effect of armor, like shing, 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 when you pick them up. Really cool. I'm loving it. This is great. And I play 3, 4, 5 games. Then I go to Twitter and I'm like, oh wow, I really enjoyed this mode. I put a little video clip up, and yeah, great. Then I went away and I went and watched Manchester City play football. And then I came back. And I was like, right, I'm going to play a bit more of this event. So I started playing the event. And then things started to sort of sink home. So firstly, now this is a me issue, but it's also an issue with the number, I guess. So I thought it was 300 eliminations to get the titles. It is not. It is 300 killing blows. That means you have to have, well, 300 killing blows to get the titles. Now, that's okay on Widowmaker. That's okay on Pharah. I mean, it's really not okay. Because even if you were getting, like, I don't know, let's do some quick maths. Like 20 kills, 20 times 15. Would that be 300? I'm just going to say it. I think it is, right? Anyway, at least 15 games of getting 20 kills a game. I mean, that's a lot of time, really, to do that. And, of course, that's not going to happen. You're not going to win every single lobby. Unless, of course, you play Widowmaker and there's just a lot of Pharah, then you can kill them. Apart from that, the other heroes, they're kind of a bit crap to play in this mode. And this is what I want to get onto here, guys. So firstly, the rewards for the event are absolutely garbage. The titles themselves, I think, are pretty fine. But requiring 300 kills, I think, is extreme. Because think about Lucio. I mean, that's going to be... Think about Reinhardt. It's going to be very hard to get those titles. And don't give me any crap like, oh, yeah, well, it's a better reward because it's more difficult to earn. No, it's just more frustrating, which if you've watched any of my videos over the last year, Overwatch 2 is monetized through frustration, and it is horrifically piss-poor design. So let's move on to the next thing. If you complete all of the event challenges and you get the... Well, it's not all, is it? It's... Whatever's the required number of the event challenges, you get the Winged Victory Mercy skin. Really cool skin, really high quality. But here's the thing. If you're an Overwatch 1 player and you've already got the skin, you get jack. You get literally nothing. And this again ties into the whole thing with Blizzard are really focusing this game on new players. They don't want the old Overwatch players shouting their mouth off about the state of the monetization, about balance issues, about any of that, about the fact the game's 5v5, and all these reasons. They don't want that. They want new players walking into the door who may be little... You know, Bobby has grew up playing Valorant for the last 2 years, and he comes across, wowee, what's this Overwatch game? And he jumps into it, and he's like, oh, yeah, I'm used to paying $10,000 for a skin, so this is well cheap to me. I'll buy these skins. That's who they're going for. So also, here's the other thing, right? What is this event about? What is the point of this event? Well, it's actually to promote the skins. I don't care what anybody says, that's what this event is about, because the only heroes you can play in the event are heroes with skins that are available either in the Battle Pass or in the Premium Store. This event dropped as the store updated, pushing people to go and buy the skins, of which these skins are all essentially $19. Some of them are in packs, and you get another item if you want to buy the pack. That go up to $22 a pack, so 2,200 coins. If you wanted to buy them all, you're looking at about $83-ish for all of the skins. Of course, that doesn't include the Junker Queen skin, which is the mythic at the end of the Battle Pass, which, of course, if you wanted to unlock that without any levels on the Battle Pass, that would be really expensive. But again, it's time. You have to grind towards that and get it. Now, there's another issue with this mode. You can't play this mode with your friends. Yeah, you heard that correctly. You cannot play this mode with your friends. It is literally a free-for-all that you just go into on your own. You can't group to join this. It's free-for-all. That's it. So that kills the community aspect of the event. Again, this wasn't something I noticed to begin with because I just was queuing for, you know, on my own. I literally play the game on my own. Nobody plays Overwatch with me, right? So then we look at, as I said, the point of the event. So, okay, it's here to show off these skins, show off all the voice lines, show off their sound effects, get you into the store to buy them. How does the event play? Like, when you play a few of these games, you start to realize, okay, The lobbies are just becoming, you guessed it, Roadhog mainly. If you look at Ramattra, it's difficult for Ramattra to get stuff done. It's easier for him to get stuff done than it is Reinhardt. It's very hard for Ryan. He's just literally a punching bag in the mode, which he always is anyway in deathmatch. So in a mode where you've got Pharah, who is literally on the most Class A steroids ever when she pops her ultimate, and Widow, who is freezing you in place and literally deleting you from the game when she pops her ultimate, it becomes super difficult. And Lucio, who's stunning you into the wall and knocking you about, it's just not great. It's only great if you play a certain number of heroes. Again, I fall into this trap. So I like playing Pharah. I like playing Widow. So, wow, I can have a great time if there isn't just 8 other Roadhogs in the lobby. But I can have a great time, right? Cool, good stuff. Again, this is a problem with the design of this event. Overwatch is a game where you're supposed to be able to play your hero, yeah? And do what you like with your hero and play your hero because that's who you become attuned to. That's who you become, you associate with your hero. But if your hero is not even in this event because, oh no, they don't get a skin in the store, so stuff you. Well, you just have to try and play another hero if you like, and, maybe you don't really care as much. Overall, it's just not a very good event. I think that the positives to take away from it, the voice work is great. It always is in Overwatch, though. Like, the voice work and the narrative work is always top-notch. So I don't really... honestly, it doesn't matter what that's attached to. It's always going to be good. But the problem is, the game mode we've got here just isn't really that great. There are some changes to the map on Ilios Ruins, I believe. There's, like, a bit of extra stuff they've slapped down on the ground and a big statue of... Junker Queen as Zeus, so there's little bits and pieces like that, but it just isn't great. And I think for the first fully fledged Overwatch 2 limited time mode, it's a bit crap, if I'm honest. So talking of other things that are a bit crap, there are a lot of bugs in the current version of the game. Now, I'm going to highlight 2. There are more, but I'm not going to highlight them through fear of people just abusing them. But the first one is Junker Queen. Now, remember with the patch, so if Junker Queen gets an elimination... No, it's not even an elimination, sorry. If Junker Queen gets a hit, so she just hits somebody, right? This is the problem. She gets a 2-second reduction cooldown on Carnage, a big axe attack. So, if she hits a player, she gets 2-second reduction. That's great. But here's the thing. It also triggers on destructible items. It also triggers on things like Symmetra turrets and other objects in the world. How does that get through testing? Like, how? I mean, it's very situational. You're not, it's not really going to be like, oh, I'm just going to hit this wall here to get an instant carnage up again. You're going to want to be hitting enemy players with it, right? But it does ask the question, didn't anybody check that? The other issue we've got, right, now this is another one, it's Kiriko's Swift Step. Now, we're not sure if this is a nerf or it's a bug. Now, when you teleport with Kiriko, it would remove negative effects. Now, what I'm saying, if you had like, you had Discord on you, for example, yeah, and you teleported, it would be gone. If you were anti-naded and you teleported away, it would be gone. Now, though, they're not. However, I do believe that objects, so like a sticky bomb off Tracer, the pulse bomb, you can't teleport and that's still attached to you. I think that disappears. But Discord wouldn't, right? So if you teleported away, you'd still have Discord on you. If you had anti-nade on you, you'd still have anti-nade on you. Now, I've got no issue with this, right? Honestly, I'm indifferent to this, whatever. Nerf Kiriko, let's do it. But there's no mention of this anywhere. Nobody has spoke. And this goes back to the idea, doesn't it, of communication. You remember I remember the time, because Pepperidge Farm remembers, when the devs, literally the game director, would be posting on the forums all the time. So if there was an issue, they would be like, yeah, this is a problem, we're fixing it. It wouldn't just be, we don't know. So there's a bug with this character, or is it an intentional nerf? We don't know. And this again goes back to the fact that the patch notes are not really ever complete with Overwatch anymore. They miss a lot of stuff out. Okay, some of it's niche, off-the-wall bugs that have been fixed, but they matter, and they must know they've fixed them, so why are they not documenting it? It's very strange. And in a game that's as complex as Overwatch, you need to document these changes, because I cannot tell you the amount of times I play Orisa, even right now, and I'm against a Reinhardt or a Brick, and I've got my ult, and they bring up their barrier thinking they can protect their team or protect themselves as I'm using my ult. Well, you can't, because now the ultimate of Orisa goes through barriers. But this is mentioned nowhere, unless you watch a Stylosa video or one of the other awesome YouTubers, or you read the patch notes, right? If you don't do that, well, then you just don't know. It's just terrible. It's really, really bad. Bad management of the game. So let's talk about this patch, this mid-season patch, which is frankly a bit piss poor. And a lot of the patches have been like this. They don't really inspire any kind of urge to like, yeah, let's get on the game. Big changes are coming in. Now, Overwatch, in the grand scheme of things, does get updated fairly frequently, right? But it's about the substance of those updates. This tweet from Aaron Keller, he says, today's balance patch is a bit lighter than usual because some of its planned changes were pulled forward to the mid-December patch. Let's just stop on that for a second. They pulled forward these changes. So they'd planned mid-season changes, but they seen the community reaction, no doubt, and thought, oh shit, we best get some of these changes out now, so push them forward. But this is like borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. Like, they literally are taking away from a future patch, so they're going to get hit further on down the line with comments like off idiots like me going, well, this is a bit of a weak patch, so what the hell is this patch? And they come out and say, oh yeah, it's because we pushed some of it forward. That's not good enough. Surely, if you take away, you want to add more stuff. I mean, there's a whole host of issues with the game at the moment. Sojourn is mega OP, needs to be fixed. Roadhog, as we know, is ridiculous. But, you know, granted, they did say they were going to look at Roadhog mid-January. But, you know, it's just so disheartening. Anyway, he goes on to say, also, a friendly reminder that scheduled changes to Roadhog are not part of today's patch and are slated for mid to late January. So, mid to late January, which means we've probably got another two and a half weeks, maybe even 3 weeks of, well, probably 2.5 weeks at this point now, of Roadhog being as ridiculously powerful as he is. There are other issues that are starting to crop up. We're starting to see a lot of negative sentiment towards Widowmaker because it's finally started to sync with the player base that Widow is very good in Overwatch 2. And if you play Widow, you can generally just kill people and no one can stop you. And that's very strong in this game. And a lot more people are playing Widow, and it's really taking the fun out of the game. Because this isn't Valorant, this is Overwatch. Being instantly killed from across the map is shit and needs to change. This is why Roadhog is crap, because Roadhog hooks you and then just deletes you from the game. But yeah, we know they're going to look at his one-shot ability at some point. It just takes them a long time. And I'm going to end the video with this mad rant. What kind of structure have they got in place where it takes so long to make these changes? Or, like, they almost fear making some changes, or they don't want to make changes, or they do make changes, and then they end up pushing changes out fast after that to try and combat that. It just seems like it's all over the place to me, and I don't know anything. You know, I don't know anything that's going on inside the Overwatch team. I don't talk to anyone from Blizzard. You know, those days are very, very far behind me. So I'm sitting here as a person who plays this game, and I experience what all you guys experience, and I'm like, what's happening with this game? What's going on? So this is what's happened, guys, right? We've got a Battle for Olympus event, which is pretty poor. We've got a reward system linked to that, which is not great. We've got a shop, which is just shit, basically. I just don't like the shop. It's just crap way of monetizing. We've got a battle pass with rewards, which are just not great. And rewards have been pulled out the battle pass and slapped into the store. Look at the Lucio winged sandal I highlighted in a recent video. You know, it gets me down saying, like, listing this stuff out. It's just like, what in the world is going on? And then, I don't know. I've lost my train of thought. I'm just going to leave the video at that, guys. This is going to be a big year for Overwatch, isn't it? Because I think we're, like, getting on for 4 months after launch now. And it's, what have you got, Blizzard? What's the stuff you're going to show us? What's your PvE going to look like? Because I think as time goes on, the community gets a lot more critical of the game. Players get a lot more critical. And I've got to say this as well. There's a lot more to do out there in the world when it comes to gaming now. This ain't 2016, lads. This is 2023. This is a world of a ton of other games out there that are all fighting for attention. So, I don't know. I just don't know. All right, guys. Thank you for listening and watching to the video. I've been Stylosa. Leave a comment below if you loved it. And just let your frustrations out if you need to. Seems to be that's what this video is about for me. But yeah, I'll catch you guys, hopefully, on the next video. See you soon.